Chefs, what is the beef? Welcome to a live video. Currently sitting on the balcony getting absolutely scorched alive. 37 degrees in Melbourne today. It's interesting, so I hope if you're back in UK, Ireland, that it's not too wet, and it's not too windy, and it's not too rainy. Anyway, on to our video this morning. It is the industry's fault, but blaming the industry will get you nowhere. Blaming the industry will result in what you've always got, which is nothing. Take the glasses off for this one. They're quite large in proportion to my head. So it is the industry's fault, and that's the fact. But if you let that be your excuse, you will always forever be chasing your tail, chef. So when we think about the industry, it's so far behind in terms of how it employs people. You know, in corporate structures, it's a 40-hour week. You do 40 hours, you get paid for 40 hours. You due a certain amount of holiday days. You know, you're due sick leave, you're due sick days, you get wellness programs, you get perks and things involved in the job, and it's seen as you're never really asked to work more than those 40 hours, and you can do overtime, which you get paid probably double for. That's what most people's work situation is in a 9 to 5. For chefs, it's nearly the opposite, you know. It's like employers get away with absolute murder where you're expected to, you know, receive a call or be on call for some of the time on your days off. If someone calls in sick, you get a call to come in on your day off and fucking cover them, you know. You're usually expected to work 50, 60, 70 hours, but you're only contracted for 40. So you're working double what you're actually getting paid for. As a result of all of this, there's a huge amount of frustration that builds and it robs you of your work-life balance, absolutely. And you develop all these bad habits around your food, you develop all these bad habits around your vices, whether that be drink or drugs or smokes. You can become dependent on coffee and Red Bull to get yourself through days. This is what ends up happening as a result of being within this industry. But we think about how shit the employment structure is. You think about all these things that are wrong. If we just look at the things that are wrong, we're never, ever going to fix our own issues. Do you understand? So there's two ways you can go about this. Because I've seen chefs who've come into ChefFit who maybe had that mentality that it is the industry's fault and there's nothing I can do here and it doesn't matter what I try. I feel shit right now, I'm going to try a diet. You know, I'm going to try the Atkins diet. I'm going to try Slimming World. I'm going to join the gym. And what ends up happening when you give up after a week or two is you always go back to this frame of mind that I don't have time. Fucking work takes over everything. Why is my life like this? And that mentality will kill you. It will make you stagnant. It will destroy any chance you have of changing your life, chef, and actually becoming a healthy version of yourself. So the way that you got to look at it is, I can't affect the industry right now. I can't change it. It will take time. It will happen eventually, but I can't change it right now. But what can I change? Well, I can change my own actions. So there's two things to go on here. If work is truly robbing you of your life, if work is truly robbing you of any work-life balance, it's destroyed your energy, it's destroyed your headspace, and it's destroyed your body, I would suggest first and foremost is like, can you find a better work situation? Can you sit work down, whoever your employer is, and explain what the problem is? And from explaining that problem, can they help you fucking change it and put better things in place? Can they give you a bit more time off here or there? Can they actually pay you what you're worth? Can they pay you for the hours that you're doing that you're currently not getting paid for? If you can't go through that process, then it's like, can you find something else? And then the last thing is, regardless of what's happening within work, can you just make better decisions and stop blaming something else other than yourself for your actions? It's like, sure, when you have less time, you know, you could say it's easy to say you don't have time, but really it's more difficult to make time, but it's still possible to make time. So you got to be willing to make that sacrifice and do it if you really want something. If you really want to change your life, if you really want to lose 15, 20 kilos, if you really want to turn your health around for good, add years to your life and add life to your years, let's say, it's like, that's going to require hard work and sacrifice. That's going to require you to break through old stories and bullshit excuses that you had. You know, it's going to require you to be a better version of yourself, because that's how you become a better version of yourself. You demand more from yourself, and therefore you make the sacrifice and you do the work consistently to get there. Understand that this industry might change, you know, and there's definitely, I see ChefFit being a forerunner for that. It's showing chefs that you can live a healthy life, and also showing employers that it's possible for a chef, and it's important for a chef to look after themselves if they're to perform and they're to be happy in what they're doing. So we could stop the suicide rates, so we could stop the attrition rates, so we could stop the burnout, we could stop all the bullshit that's happening right now in this industry. But if we look at that industry and we go, it's all their fault, fuck that, I can't do this because of them, then that's going to stop you forever. Whereas if you can go, this is a shit situation, it is a load of bollocks that the industry's like this, but I'm not going to let that stop me, I'm going to do something regardless. If you have that mindset, or you're going to do something regardless, then you will get the result. But if you're not willing to make that sacrifice and put that work in, you're not going to get your just desserts, my friends, and that's the truth. So again, blaming the industry gets you nowhere, even though it might be true. Remember, control what you can control. You can't control that, but you can control your actions. What can you do today? What can you do tomorrow? What can you do fucking right now? That is the way that you need to think. Don't think about what someone else is doing. Don't think about something else outside of yourself, because everything that you need in your life is going to be found within. Anyway, chefs, that's our video for today. Getting off the balcony here before I get sunburnt. I'll catch us all. Enjoy the rest of the Christmas winter. Yuppa.